GoPro Hero 6 Black. Here's a little unboxing me and my son Jackson did a few weeks ago. I've had every GoPro from day one, but I actually missed out on the Hero 5s. So this is my first USB-C GoPro. Given its 4K credentials, obviously USB-C and the Hero 6's 5 GHz Wi-Fi support are really important for transferring heavy files. The first thing we've got to talk about is the price. As some of you might know, I'm doing a 1-year round the world trip with my family. You can check out our vlogs on this channel. We're 4 months in and we're currently in Hawaii. So if I was to go down the high street here on the island of Maui and buy a Hero 6, it would cost me $499 plus tax, so about $525. And it's strangely enough, you can change that dollar sign for a pound sign, because that's about what I paid for it in the UK, about £500. Obviously these prices are all subject to change, and there might be a price reduction by the time you watch this video, I don't know, but whatever, this represents an expensive camera, and I think that price puts it in the prosumer category. All right, this isn't a cheap bit of kit. It's for those who take their filming seriously, and so you need to know if it's worth upgrading. There are several features that the Hero 6 has that the Hero 5 does not, which I think on balance probably make it worthwhile upgrading to, but I don't own a Hero 5 Black or any of the Hero 5s, so it's up to you to make that choice. Hopefully some of the information I'm going to give you in a minute will help you make the right choice for you. So let's find out what aspects of this new camera qualify it for that sort of price tag, and possibly what lets it down. The big news with the GoPro Hero 6 Black is GoPro's first bespoke designed custom image processor, the GP1 processor. This helps with facial recognition, intelligent colorization, image stabilization, power management, which puts the camera on the same footing in terms of battery performance as the Hero 5 Black.
Come on guys!
GoPro, call the way their GP1 chip quickly analyzes motion, white balance, dynamic range and exposure scene analysis, and the result is an image quality that is superior to any previous GoPro. In my opinion, this is most evident in its reproduction of colours. Just look at how vivid and dynamic the colours are in this footage. They're absolutely stunning. For some people, I'm going to guess that the colour reproduction might come across as a tiny bit oversaturated, but I absolutely love how lively the colours are in most of the footage that I've shot. Next up, the GP1 helps serve up some exciting new resolution and frame rate options. 4K footage shot at 60 frames per second is the headline, of course. Here is some 4K at 60 frames per second that I shot. Obviously this has been converted to 1080p for this video, but as you'll know, if you've shot on 4K on a decent bit of hardware before, even though it's outputted at 1080, it still looks better than if I'd shot it natively at that resolution. So as a rule, I don't shoot 4K yet. I'm going to go to that, like a lot of content creators on YouTube, eventually, and so the fact that you can shoot 4K 60 frames per second on the Hero 6 Black gives it a little bit of future proofing. What I bought this camera for is 1080p at 240 frames per second. I'm big on slow-mo. You'll see in loads of my tech reviews, and especially in my vlogs, I use slow-mo all the time. And it means that in the post-production stage, I can turn anything into slow motion, which is utterly brilliant, and it's the main reason that I spent the money on this camera. It's just brilliant.
Come on.
That new chip brings image stabilization to the Hero 6, which again outperforms anything seen before it. The new GP1 software hardware architecture does it all digitally, of course, in software. There are some great comparisons between Hero 5 Black and Hero 6 Black's image stabilization on YouTube, but what I'll say is that I've been massively impressed by the Hero 6 Black's digital stabilization, and it massively outperforms that of my go-to vlogging camera, my Sony RX100V. Other features that I think are really cool on this camera, like the Hero 5 Black, the sound on the Hero 6 is excellent.
You have to walk the greasy pole. The first person to get there gets to keep whatever is at the end of it.
Do you have to walk on it?
Yeah.
But what about if the money falls into the sea? Can you go like this? hugging it.
You can do whatever you want.
And that's down to 3 mics and software that selects between those mics depending on the situation. Hero 6 features a touch to zoom. You can't do it in super view, and also you can't do it while you're recording, but here's an example of me framing up in wide view. This is the widest it goes. I then stop recording and zoom in, and the zoomed in image looks like this. This is its full zoom within the wide setting. Time lapse on the Hero 6 is utterly brilliant. I've had some really good results using the time lapse function on this camera. I've not used night lapse yet. I'd like to give that a try. Okay, now a few words about the stuff that doesn't impress me about the Hero 6. Okay, so it supposedly has better low light performance than the Hero 5 Black. I can't verify that, but what I will say is that I'm not impressed by the Hero 6 Black's low light performance. With the auto low light function on, I can still see very obvious noise and grain in the footage. Ultimately, it's quite subjective though. You might find it acceptable. I've had another issue with the Hero 6, which is a real problem for me, and that issue is fogging. I've seen other people talking about the same problem on the internet, but to be fair, it doesn't seem to be a major issue, so please put that in context. I'm talking about fogging within the camera lens, so it's something I can't solve with some of the sort of third-party solutions that you've seen for previous GoPros. I'll let you know in the comments section here if GoPro can solve this problem for me. You might want to do your own research though. If you're going to invest in this camera, this is a problem that you need to know about. My other complaint is the quality of the glass on the protective lens. Somehow I've managed to get a scratch on the front of the lens of my Hero 6. You can see it in this shot here. Again, I might have just been really unlucky, but it's kind of annoyed me. I'm surprised that I've got it scratched, having only had the camera for a few weeks. And again, it's something that you might want to consider. So we come to the final question. Is the GoPro Hero 6 Black worth the money? Absolutely, unequivocally, 100% yes. Even if I had its predecessor, I would still want to get hold of that 1080p at 240 frames per second so I could slow-mo everything I shoot. That, plus its 4K performance, its brilliant HDR photos, which I haven't even mentioned, and loads of other functions make this an absolute must-have for my camera bag. Yes, I know, it seems expensive, but I think that the GoPro Hero 6 Black is more than worth its price tag.